Hello, good day, and welcome to another episode of TELUS STORYHIVE live on location in Vernon. Today we are with Frankie Gowing, and we're at the Schubert Center, the Schubert Senior Center in Vernon, BC, and I'm really grateful that Frankie's sitting down with us today. She has just come from leading a group of women in a Zumba class, and today I'm hoping we can dive into the world of Zumba. But I'm hoping first we can start with just saying hi and welcome, Frankie.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I love to talk about what I do all the way through my life. Physical things were important to me. And then I retired in 1999. And a year later, my principal, Brent Rutherford, which I recalled his conversation, phoned me and said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Not too well. I'm a little lost." So he said, "Well, you're good with old people and you're good with young people, and why don't you go into the fitness world?" So in 2000, I started going to Douglas College and took all the courses. I knew I wanted to do group fitness. So I found a place in Maple Ridge that was willing to try me out. And what they did was they wanted me to charge a certain amount, and I got a third of the amount, and the rest went to them. And I would do a group fitness class with dance. And then we'd walk across the property, and they had a lovely pool, and I'd do an aquafit class with them. And I'd come home and I'd count my little monies. I'd already paid them, and I'd maybe make $20 or $25. I was absolutely over the top. I was as happy as can be.
And when you were teaching or leading, I have to keep correcting myself.
Well, yeah.
So maybe you can speak about that, for the teaching a class versus leading a class. And I don't know if that's specific to Zumba or...
It's sort of the norm with Zumba. You don't, Beto, who is the original guru,
Right.
did not teach specific steps. You caught on as the time, so it took the pressure off and it took the boredom off of everything. And that's what I'm finding here, week by week. They get better and better, and I look at them and I'm amazed at, wow, they're all doing what I'm doing.
Because they're relaxed, there's no teacher, it's a community.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about Mayne Island, and you are at that time doing Zumba, or not quite yet?
Well, it took a little while, but not long.
So what was the class like that you were teaching there on Mayne Island?
Well,
initially?
It was a Zumba class,
Okay.
and I called it Zumba.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And Zumba is 90% Latin music or international music. But the women all caught on because the bases are just basic steps. And once they learn all the basic steps to any song, then I just had to slowly slip in my Latin stuff. And I guess I was young enough, I was 55 plus, or naive enough that I just did it. And they didn't catch on well too bad, but they did.
Right.
And they enjoyed it. But because it's a small community and we all knew each other, they would let me know, don't like that song, or and here they don't. They just applaud, and they
Very accepting to whatever you present to them.
Yeah. So
I did talk to you about going to the States to initially really jump into Zumba.
yeah, I took every Zumba course I could.
Yeah.
And I took a course up here, which was absolutely marvelous, in 2010, I believe, and just came away absolutely thrilled with what I was learning and what I picked up. And again, I was the oldest person. And then I went to Victoria and took a course. I went to Nanaimo and took a course. And then as time went on, it was just last year, I went down and stayed a week in Florida, and whoa, it was an eye-opener, because these people were big Zumba, and everybody was from some hot country, Colombia, Cuba, Chile, and they just had the moves. And of course, I'm just a white girl trying to do my thing.
Zumba, it's something that anyone can do.
Anybody could do. Now, Zumba Gold is what I'm doing here, and I'm showing them all the basic steps, and then I'll put on the music that I think they like, and they just get in there, and first of all, we go over and over with very comfortable music and the steps, and signals. I don't talk. It's purely, they have to watch me, and I'll give them the signals, and they follow through. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. I don't care. You can do whatever feels good. Concentrate more, because first of all, you want to concentrate on your steps with your feet. And the arms, I have specific arm movements, but they don't have to. And that was another tip I picked up from Ricardo, I should say, Ricardo. And he made us all choose some arm movement that we liked, and it wasn't the same. Everybody was different. So you look around at other people and you think, I like that move. And then you pick it up and do it. So it's very non-threatening, and anyone can do it.
Even a 10-year-old boy?
Even a 10-year. I was looking for Gangnam Style, which I have, but I
Maybe
only
you could tell that story.
Well, on Mayne Island, and people would come over in the summertime and bring their families, and then your son came, and he had rhythm and flamboyance, if that's a word.
Yes, we'll say it is, for sure.
And so I think we were outside. Now, you did it inside the ag hall as well, but outside I know we did Gangnam Style, and this 10-year-old young man got up with all these women that were probably 30, 40, 50, 60, and did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And it demonstrated to all the other women, hey, if he can do it, we can do it.
That's right. Bowen, you could be the next Zumba teacher.
When you play the music, you can't help but start doing something.
It's true.
Yeah, it's very uplifting.
Yeah, uplifting. I'm just thinking about a gift that you recently received for your 81st birthday, which was words that the women in your class wrote down.
Yeah.
And uplifting was one of the words. Exuberating.
Energizing. Yeah.
Inspiring. Motivating.
You have to be really inclusive. You're like a hive of bees, and what's good for the hive is good for the bee, and if it's not, if the hive isn't all enjoying it, then sort of the queen bee, she doesn't get anything out of it either. And it's got to be a two-way street where I see all their smiles, and it makes me weep, really.
Yeah.
And then some of the people that come in here, I have 2 in wheelchairs with their caregivers. They're nonverbal, but I can just tell that their caregiver is doing their thing and such, but that's just how inclusive it is.
Well, and you are putting that out there for these women.
Yeah.
When I've attended your classes, that's what I've really noticed. Of course, I'm trying to pay attention and be involved in the class, but mostly for me, my heart is singing because I'm just watching how these women are.
Yeah. For me, I'm 17 when I'm in there, and just hoping I've got another 10 years. I think it keeps you young. And the inclusivity of it all is extremely important. And I will go up and dance with somebody. I may not touch them because you never know if they want to be, but it's it's what we all want. We're social animals, and we want to help each other, and I get as much out of the classes as they do. It makes my life worthwhile.
Enriched.
It does.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your emotion.
Yeah, well,
It's important.
yeah, well, I'll start blubbering.
Can you talk a bit more about music in your life? And
Well, that from the second I wake up in the morning, I ask Alexa to turn on certain songs, and I get down on the floor in my living room and do my little exercises to the music. My cat does the same things beside me. And it's not just the night before. It is like I'll go home this afternoon and I'll go through every song on my playlist and go over them and make sure that, oh, could I not add this or that? And if I think a song what didn't work for the ladies, I'll find another one. You have to have your warm-up, and then you have to have your basic steps so they're comfortable, and then I slip in my Latin numbers, and they're slowly adapting to it. And then you go back and you do your strength numbers early. You do the smaller muscles later on, so the arm ones and different things with your arms, even though your arms are always in play. And then you have your cool down. I try to make sure I'm giving them what they want, and because I want our hive to be buzzing and making
I love
lots
this
of
analogy.
honey.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and so there you go.
You found your passion.
Oh,
Hey, these are all great stories, and I appreciate you telling them.
oh, as you say, reflecting on life. Sometimes it kind of makes me.
It's been a good life, and it continues to be a good life. Finding a new home at 80 years old in Vernon, in this beautiful place, making new friends,
Well, I am.
seeing old friends.
Yeah. I am thrilled with Vernon because I needed more activity. We're tennis players too, so we wanted to come up here so we could have more physical activities and more restaurants and more people.
Yeah, you amaze me, and I'm really happy that I have you in my life, and that you would be willing to come and share some of your stories and your passion about Zumba, and
Just meeting people that are my age. I want to encourage them. There's nothing more important than your physical fitness and your diet, that you're not on a diet, but that you eat properly and that you socialize and reach out. I was in the doctor's office last week, and I was saying something on the phone quietly, and a woman beckoned me, and she said, come and sit down. And I went and sat down with her, wondering what she was going to say, and before I know it, she's got my cell phone, putting her phone number in, and she called me yesterday. And of course I invited her to come to Zumba, but she's on her way to Cozumel for a wedding. She said, oh, I'll try it when I come back. But I'm just open and ready for whatever comes my way.
yeah.
And
I think that's a beautiful way to end this conversation on that note. Having connections, staying healthy. I really appreciate you.
well, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
I appreciate you too, really. And Bowen, you are such a sweetheart.
Thanks for sitting with us today and sharing your stories, Frankie. I'm looking forward to the next Zumba next Tuesday. I'll be
Next
joining
Tuesday.
you.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for joining us for this episode
Thank
of
you.
Live on Location with Mimi and Bowen. Bowen's done a great job behind the camera, and we'll see you next time.